Good morning, friends. We resume our reading of 1 Samuel this morning. Thank you for joining us. Please do take a moment to post a greeting, share a comment. Let us know that you're here with us. So let's start as we always do and take a look at the big picture. Now remember, big picture just simply says Samuel. Historically, originally, 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel, which are both shown here, were one book. One very large book, as you can tell. 55 chapters. After all, there's 31 chapters in 1 Samuel, 24 in 2 Samuel. At some point, it was split. We're not getting into that. The purpose here is to read, to encounter, and be encountered. And so, for the purposes of our time, we are focusing on 1 Samuel, but it's a good thing to keep this original identity of these two books in mind. So, 1 Samuel, here we go. We're in the midst of chapter 6. We're nearing the end of this first section. We're in this section, chapters 4 through 7, where the conflict between the Philistines and Israel is front and center. There are unthinkable things that have happened. The Ark of God, the Ark of the Covenant, the Ark built by Moses in obedience to God that contained the law, and Aaron's staff that budded, and various other things. That Ark of the Covenant had been taken captive in warfare, in battle, and held by the Philistines, and they suffered for it. And where we pick up today, the Philistines are returning the ark because they realize that it has been a curse upon them. We're about to see a transition. This is all called Samuel, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, but really, truthfully, it's the first 7 chapters that are really about Samuel. We will be introduced to the character of Saul, who will become the prominent figure for a good amount of the rest of 1 Samuel. And then there will be this, basically in the final third of 1 Samuel, this conflict between Saul and David, who will start to rise. And the beginning of his rise will be the beginning of the demise of Saul. We'll see that. Right now, we'll stick to Samuel. The Philistines and Israel, the ark is coming back. There is a transition that is coming, though. Good morning, Mom. So, friends, I'll be reading from the left-hand column. If you've watched these videos, you know that's pretty normal. I'll be reading from a Jewish Bible, specifically the Complete Jewish Bible. The right-hand column has the text is found in a Christian Bible, specifically the New Revised Standard Version Updated Edition. And I may or may not use that for something more than just bringing uniquely Jewish Christian, no, bringing uniquely Jewish biblical language that sounds foreign to Christian ears into Christian biblical language. Like, for example, would you know what the Plishtim are if you heard mention of them? Well, it's the Philistines. Plishtim is the Jewish biblical language wording for the Philistines. Okay, friends, let's get the timer up and let's read. Although we're not actually starting there, we're starting at, yeah, verse 10. Verse 10. Yep. The ark is on a cart. Well, there's a plan. Let's put it this way. We're going to hear this. There's a plan for the ark of the covenant to be sent back home. And verse 10 is where this plan is carried out. The men did it. They took 2 milk cows, harnessed them to the cart, and confined their calves to the shed. Then they put the ark on the cart, along with the box containing the gold rats and the models of their tumors. The cows made straight for the road to Beth Shemesh, and took that route, moving as they went and turning off neither to the right nor to the left. The leaders of the Plishtim, the Philistines, followed them as far as the border of Beth Shemesh. The people of Beth Shemesh were harvesting their wheat in the valley when they looked up and saw the ark. They were happy to see it. The cart entered the field of Joshua, the Bet Shemeshi, Joshua of Beth Shemesh, and stood there by a big rock. They cut up the wood of the cart and offered up the cows as a burnt offering to Adonai. Then the Liv, Levites removed the ark of Adonai and the box that was with it, which contained the gold objects, and put them on the big rock. That same day, the men of Bet Shemesh offered burnt offerings and sacrifices to Adonai. Upon seeing this, the 5 leaders of the Plishtim returned that day to Ekron. The gold tumors which the Plishtim sent back as a guilt offering for Adonai were 1 each for Ashdod, Azza, Ashkelon, Gat, and Ekron. And the gold rats also corresponded to the number of all the cities of the Plishtim that belonged to the 5 leaders, fortified cities and country villages. The rock is a witness to this day of the great mourning which resulted from putting the ark of Adonai on it in the field of Yahusha the Bet Shemesh. For Adonai struck the people of Bet Shemesh for looking at the ark of Adonai. That's an interesting. It's worded a little bit stronger. That's worded a little bit stronger in Jewish biblical language than Christian biblical language. Did you notice that? There's no mention in the Jewish text for the descendants of Jeconiah striking the people. Who is now there's got to be some type of a gap in the Hebrew text because note the brackets are on Adonai, but it's interesting that there's no rush to go, well, it was somebody else. That's really interesting. I'm not sure what to make of it, but it's really interesting. Verse 20. The people of Bet Shemesh asked, who can stand before Adonai, this holy God? To whom can we send it to get it away from us? They sent messengers to the people living in Kiryat Jearim, with this message: the Plishtim have returned the ark of Adonai. Come down and bring it back up with you. So the men of Kiryat Jearim came and brought back the ark of Adonai. They took it to the home of Abinadab, Abinadab on the hill, and appointed his son Eleazar to guard the ark of Adonai. From the day that the ark arrived in Kiryat Jearim, a long time elapsed, 20 years. And all the people of Israel yearned for Adonai. Shmuel addressed all the people of Israel. He said, if you are returning to Adonai with all your heart, then be done with the foreign gods and Ashtaroth, Astartes, idols, that you have with you, and direct your hearts to Adonai. If you will only serve him, he will rescue you from the power of the Plishtim. So the people of Israel banished the Baalim, the Baals, and the Ashtaroth, and served only Adonai. Shmuel said, gather all Israel to Mitzpah, and I will pray for you to Adonai. So they gathered together at Mitzpah, drew water, and poured it out before Adonai, fasted that day, and said there, we have sinned against Adonai. Shmuel began serving as judge over the people of Israel at Mitzpah. When the Plishtim heard that the people of Israel had gathered together at Mitzpah, the leaders of the Plishtim marched up against Israel. And when the people of Israel heard about this, they were afraid of the Plishtim. The people of Israel said to Shmuel, don't stop crying out to Adonai our God for us to save us from the power of the Plishtim. Shmuel took a baby lamb and offered it as a whole burnt offering to Adonai. Then Shmuel cried to Adonai for Israel, and Adonai answered him. As Shmuel was presenting the burnt offering, the Plishtim advanced to attack Israel, but this time Adonai thundered violently over the Plishtim, throwing them into such confusion that they were struck down before Israel. The men of Israel went out from Mitzpah, pursuing the Plishtim and attacking them all the way to Bet-Kar. Shmuel took a stone, placed it between Mitzpah and Shen, and gave it the name Ebenezer, Stone of Help, explaining Adonai has helped us until now. Thus the Plishtim were humbled, so that they no longer entered Israel's territory, and the hand of Adonai was against the Plishtim as long as Shmuel lived. The cities between Ekron and Gat, which the Plishtim had captured from Israel, were restored to Israel, and Israel rescued all this territory from the power of the Plishtim. There was also peace between Israel and the Amorites. Friends, that's where we're going to pause, and next time we'll pick up here at verse 15. Did we get into chapter 7? Yeah, we did. Okay. So, we didn't quite get to the end of this. We didn't quite get to this transition, but we're not far off from it. Have a blessed day, dear friends. Peace be with you.